Hello everyone, it's Average Ol here, making average content for the average viewer. I'd just like to start by giving a massive shout out to Ryan at Dice Gaming Xbox. He's an awesome creator and he makes great and informative Battlefield videos. I'll leave a link in the description, please go and check him out when you're done here. Also, I really would like to thank Modest Pelican Gaming for tweeting my channel and just being an all-round bloody hydrated legend. So in today's video, I want to focus on my top tips on how to be a more effective medic in Battlefield 5. I feel like there have been a few videos on this topic, but judging by the fact that I still see medics trying to use an SMG as a sniper and running around leaving people bleeding out like a reused tampon, I'm guessing that some tips might be needed. Wow, sorry, that one was really gross. Maybe even a bit unnecessary, but guess what? It's staying in the video anyway. Please let me know in the comments below if you play medic, and if not, how do you feel about the current medic meta in the game? Let's see if we can smash 20 likes on this video. Let's get on with it, shall we? My first tip is to revive. Let's get the obvious out of the way first. If you're going to play medic, you have to revive other players. You have to revive other players if you want to impact the game and actually be a benefit to your team. I know you think going on a massive flank and getting a sick 5-piece with your Thompson is cool, but honestly, if you're running past your dead teammates to do it, they're all going to think you're about as cool as a 45-year-old football mum dabbing when her child scores. It's pathetic. The thing is, the rest of your team is relying on you to make that revive. If I had a pound for every time I was left screaming in some safe corner waiting for a medic who's only 3 meters away to come and revive me, only to bleed out while he takes pop shots at some spawn beacon the other side of the map, I'd probably have enough money to actually buy dice from EA, which, judging by recent stock crash, wouldn't actually be as much as it sounds. Regardless, reviving is a skill that every medic needs to learn. There is more to this, however. It's probably not enough just to run around with your big old needle trying to stick everyone like some sort of crazed heroin pusher who works on commission. No, your revives need to be tactical and well thought out. Even if it means popping a smoke to get that revive off, you just need to put a bit of thought into it. For example, if your teammate goes down next to you in the middle of a firefight, don't just stop shooting and try to revive him, because chances are you're both going to get shot and your team will be another ticket down. The sensible option would be to clear the threat first and then go back to your teammate. After the recent patch, you now have 30 seconds to get to someone before they bleed out, and that is actually quite a long time. To summarise, revive your teammates and be a team player, and assess every revive so that you can make the most appropriate decision. That's not that hard, is it? Number 2, you can choose your squad. So I'm sure lots of you already know this, but you can actually choose your squad. Now, as obvious as this sounds, one thing that I don't think people do is select a squad that is going to be more beneficial to being a medic. For example, if you're in a whole squad of snipers, then you're going to be extremely held back. Spawning in on some bloody knob sniping on the side of the hill isn't going to give you any benefit unless you're trying to make a Battlefield 5 rendition of Marathon Man. I'm sure I could have probably thought of a more relevant reference, but that's the first one that came to my mind, so I'm sticking with it. I would suggest you find a squad that has people in it that are more likely to be in the thick of the action. If you're in a squad with 2 assault players and another medic, then the chances are that every time you spawn in, you're going to be able to get straight into healing people and killing people much quicker, like the love child of Rambo and Mother Teresa. Just going to leave you with that stunning image for a second. Number 3. Gadgets. As a medic, you have access to quite a few different gadgets, and I'll just get it straight out of the way and say it. Don't use the AP mine. Just don't. I know what you're thinking, oh, I can probably get a few extra kills with the AP mine, it seems like such a sensible idea. What I want you to do is just take that idea and say it to yourself in the mirror. Then look yourself in the eye and say, you sir are a bloody fool. I don't have a problem with AP mines per se, but I just feel that they are much more useful if you are camping in a building somewhere. Anyway, what I'd suggest is that the gadgets you use directly help your role as a medic. My choices of gadgets are the bandages and the smoke grenade launcher. I choose the bandages because I personally find it much more useful to be able to just throw health at someone as and when they need it. That being said, the health crates now work in a different way. They now have an aura of health around them, meaning that they're much more useful as you don't have to manually remove the health yourself. But honestly, it's just much more fun throwing a bandage like the Michael Jordan of the doctoring world. So lastly, my second gadget I use is the smoke, and I won't go into too much detail about it as I covered it in my 5 tips for Battlefield 5 video, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Use the smoke to cover your ass so that you can revive, heal and push like a good little medic. Number 4. Choose a weapon to fit your playstyle. The medic class didn't have a huge variety of weapons when the game released, and this has since been changed, but more on that in a bit. As far as the base weapons in the game are concerned, there are two subcategories: the slow firing, more accuracy based weapons, and a fast firing, body shredding pew machines of f***ing death. There are also a few guns that fall somewhere in between, so you need to pick the right gun for you. I won't go into details on every single gun because there are about 100 videos on this and they already have all the bases covered, so I just want to add what value I can. The problem I see a lot of medics having is they see some best clips video of some superstar neckbeard 17-year-old who's all jacked up on Monster and G Fuel absolutely shredding a whole team with a Suami or a Thompson, and they think that they can just pick these guns up and do the same. Sadly, this isn't the case. These guns are extremely effective, but their effectiveness is limited. Both of these can be specialised so that they have a 50 round magazine, and they already have an extremely fast rate of fire. This is both a blessing and a curse. The fire rate means that you can shred through people with an extremely fast time to kill. However, to be able to do this at any distance over about 5 meters actually requires quite a lot of skill, and unless you have a good few years of recoil control on previous games, you are going to have to practice a lot. Not saying that it's impossible, I'm just saying that you should learn to walk before you can run. This leads us onto the slower types of SMG, like the Sten. These guns have much more manageable recoil, which means that they're a lot more controllable. However, they aren't going to have as much of an advantage when it comes to getting really close and personal. So what I'm trying to say is, know your strengths and choose a gun that works best for you. Just quickly, DICE has also added a couple of bolt action rifles to the medic class. These are similar to the rifles in the recon class, apart from they have a quicker rate of fire and you don't need to stop aiming down sight, making them more akin to a self-loading rifle. These guns definitely have a place within the class, but in my humble opinion, unless you're a highly accurate player and you can hit those headshots consistently, I don't feel that they fit particularly well to the playstyle of a medic. Again, I'm not saying don't use them, just you're probably going to have a better time using one of the SMGs. So that about sums it up for this video. Hopefully it helps someone out there, but more importantly, I hope it helps people get revived rather than just being left dying on the floor alone. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, then I'd really like it if you subscribed. It really means a lot, and I'd love to be able to hit 100 subscribers soon. Before I leave, I'd like to know in the comments, what sort of videos do you guys prefer? I love making content for people to watch, but I love it even more if I know it's adding value to the community. Anyway, that's enough from me. Until the next time, I'm Average Owl. Peace.